We are live from Savage. It's Wednesday afternoon.
Yes, part of our Cyber Week live shopping experience every day this week at 3 p.m.
Up through Friday. So you're not going to see us do this on the weekend because I'm going to be running a teens game during this time. And with one of our big sectors for our store being role-playing games, today we're going to talk to you about some of the great role-playing stuff we have and some of the great miniature stuff we have.
So I'm going to go and share this live stream around.
Do we got any announcements we want to make?
Mill announcements. I did put a few of those announcements on the page itself, so you can take a look at our feed there.
Awesome.
It's the dates for when Santa's going to be here, dates and times. Santa Claus will be here on Saturday, and also
go share, and I'll go and tell them about stuff.
Okay.
Yes. So Santa Claus will be here because we all know that we want to see a socially distanced Santa Claus, starting on the 5th, and it's going to be here every Saturday up through the 19th. So come and enjoy the Santa Claus then. Mill's having a bingo event where you get to go around and buy things from different merchants around the mill, and you too can win a Kate Spade handbag. Gonna have to help them get some variety in their giveaway gifts. Everyone who completes the bingo card will then put their names in a drawing to try to earn that handbag. And bridge lighting on the 5th. So if you come here on the 5th, you get to see it. Here near the mill, there is this beautiful truss bridge, one of a kind. They don't make them like that anymore, and this is the last one standing. That every year they bedazzle with lights, and you can come in and see those lights, see them turn on those lights for the holiday season, and the owner of the shopping center give a nice little speech. This year they said they're not going to go and close off the road to try to allow people to socially distance themselves, and to prevent a crowd from gathering. So by virtue of having to dodge cars while seeing the bridge light up. So that's going to be interesting. This week marks the beginning of our role-playing season. So we got all the role-playing games starting up. So far it's been very exciting, as we had a Icewind Dale game start up, have their session 0 last night. That said, we can still dovetail people into our role-playing games. Just send us a message by 3 Gear Studios Discord, and we will be able to help you out with that, with joining up with a game. All going into the thing of we're talking about some serious hobby stuff that I've always loved. Lena also uses a lot of this stuff with a lot of the crafts she uses, and so it is but this is some of these things people will look at, give us a funny look. It's like, what do you use that for? And we'll be glad to explain. So that's some of the stuff, and of course, I'll bring it up now because it's obvious that this kind of goes with both of the connection points between the role-playing and the miniature, the hobby tools. Is, of course, we carry the D&D and Marvelous... Nozar's Marvelous Miniature line and the Pathfinder Deep Cuts line for you to use. These miniatures come fully primed, so you don't have to do any preparation. You can just pop them out of the package and start painting them. I find doing a little bit of work on the flashing, which is the little evidence that these things are actually cast, is still needed, but also often ignorable. It's not as bad as some of the old pewter miniatures used to get, but still. We also have some vintage models coming out every week as we check them in from our from a nice collection we received recently, like these old Ralpartha hippogriffs from ye old time of 2003. Man, I was already out of high school at that point. I was almost graduated college at that point, singing C is for commencement, it's good enough for me. So, that is the connection point between these two things. Of course, as well, if you don't feel like painting, sculpting your own miniatures, we do have a supply of beautiful pre-painted miniatures for your enjoyment. This dragon's like $40, so I gotta be careful with it. Meanwhile, this little brain is like $5 for your enjoyment. All of these products, most of these products we have in our online shop. We're double checking every day in order to try to catch up, because recently we gained the ability to put a lot more stuff in our online shop. So instead of the featured products that we did on Monday, which was so fancy, you'll have to go to our website in order to go and pick up some of these things. We just checked through a lot of these tools to make sure it was in there. We're still going over some of the role-playing accessories because we think we have them all in there, but we'll have to check to make sure. And then once all that's done, we'll get the miniatures in on the website, so you can do it all online. But of course, you can also come into our store and pick those up yourself, because it's fantastic. So, starting off, because, we all like to start at the beginning, I am going to point out the fantastic D&D starter set. Oh yeah, sale, because you all like to sale. We'll get to that after I finish with the first two products. So stay tuned after the first two products. The D&D starter set. This is for the low price of $19.99. This is the most heavily recommended starting point for anyone who is new to D&D. It has some wonderful pre-made characters for you, a scaled down rules book, so you don't have to go, oh my god, there's so many rules, what am I going to do? Because there is a secret to the D&D rule book. And a pre-made adventure that is, quite honestly, one of the best adventures that Wizards have printed in a very long time, to the point where I have experienced old Grognar role players who have been playing D&D since 1970 something, who want me to run this adventure for them again and again, just to have an experience of playing through it another time. So, heavily recommended. Great place to start. I'll even challenge that as long as the kid can work through some of the literature, that you can play with kids 8 and up. I know the recommendation is 14 and up. But I was 8 when I learned. I think any 8-year-old can learn it. I even taught my 8-year-old nephew how to play when he was 7. And of course, the next great place to hit is the Essentials Kit. I use parts of the Essential Kits in a lot of my adventures. It comes with a lot of the extra bells and whistles with GM screens, fancy little cards to help some of the people to get to know some of the people in the game. Rules so you can make your own character, as well as condition cards. Very useful, because I can never remember, like, when you become blind in the game, what are the rules governing that? And in here they have the rules that govern that. And further detail on this same town, both the essential kits and the starter kit both detail the exact same little town for you to have fun around. And the adventure that they give you in this one, I will actually cut up and use different pieces of it in other adventures when I need a little extra something to go and fill out space and time. So that's the Essentials kit. So like I said, every day this week, we're going to be doing some kind of sale. This one is an in-store deal where if you come in and get any two hobby tools, flocking material, cutting mat, any two things on this rack, you get 10% off, in-store only. So you got to come in and actually see our face, show off your wonderful mask to show what you're to see while you pick up some wonderful hobby tools. How are things going over there for you, Lena? Somewhat? Sure, bring it on over. I got a zombie ogre. We are doing some paint intakes, or some paint nights, so you can buy a kit, take it home, and then I'll air how to paint it online. Currently, we're working out a zombie ogre paint night kit, trying to work out a second zombie ogre paint night kit since we got extra kits in order to do. So
I think these would be like good examples for some of, like, use quick shoot. Didn't you?
yes, but be careful. I did not top coat either of those. We'll get to some of the stuff with those because a lot of these tools we used with making this zombie ogre, trying to get that auto focus, and this were shark. I still need to do a top coat on them, but both of these are on sale here in the shop for $30 a piece. But this zombie ogre is one where we have kits where I'll teach you how to paint that at some to be announced date.
So yeah, it looks like we got quite a few people joining us. You can share this stream with your friends, people who you think might enjoy this stream.
Hold on a moment, because I think I know why this mask is falling down. Mask malfunction things. Let's see if this works better. Okay, so now that I told you some about where to start with D&D, we also have next one scheduled on December 30th, day before New Year's Eve. We have a Learn to Play D&D. Sign-ups are not quite yet available, but keep an eye on our website because it might be available before the end of the night.
We'll see.
We'll see. We like challenges.
So I guess let's get into these products here.
These
because
tools.
We spent a lot of last night getting these all on our website. The Army Painter tools.
One of the first things I always get when it comes to how do you paint things like this, the first answer everyone says is really small brushes. So I'm going to start off with pointing out these two small brush kits. Either one of these brush kits are good places to start. I tell you, the middle size in each one of them gives you some kind of detail brush, a medium brush, which I use for like 90% of my painting, and some kind of larger, thick bristle dry brush, which lets you do such wonderful techniques like the gills on this shark. I always like to cover some kind of dry brushing technique. But these kits and the parts of what makes the muscles on this guy what they are. Just look at that beautiful back.
So you might.
Isn't that a lovely back?
It is. So if you get, say, 2 sets of brushes in our shop, you would get 10% off.
Yes.
So if you really need to
And
stock up on your brushes, then
I tell you, this small dry brush is my favorite brush. I use the medium-sized brush like 90% of the time, but I love this small dry brush that they put out there. It is beautiful.
and we do have them individually as well. If you want to come into the shop and just get that one brush that you are needing, we have that as well.
You know, just when the smallest brush in that pack isn't small enough, you can always get the Psycho.
Does it
Which
say
is-
how small it is on there? It may or may not.
No,
It's really
they
small.
do not say how small it is. They do call it the Psycho, though.
To get that really fine detail.
So, there's one of these tools that Lena uses all the time when she's making her dice jewelry.
Getting on to the drill bits already.
I'll jump down to the drill bits.
This
So-
one I'm interested in using. I don't have that, but I have been using the drill bit.
Do you want to show them what you use?
What I make.
So yes, this is a hand Dremel. No, the your tool. Show them your tools. This is a hand Dremel with the idea that you can push down on the back there to make sure to get the pressure going, while this independently spins, yes, by the power of your own hands. And then they give you a variety of bits here that you can use. This pack will give you 2 more of each size, so that if a bit breaks on you for one reason or another, what you do? Did the bit did your drill fall out
I don't know if it fell out or if it broke in there.
again? Okay.
Because I dropped it.
Oh no.
Don't plug it.
What Lena usually does is she'll take these bits.
And I'll stick them. I don't even know how you say that. This is my drill tool here that I use to make dice jewelry.
We do not sell this we sell the hand tools in there. We don't sell this in there.
But
yeah, when you dropped it, you broke that teeny bit.
I thought so. It was like
Always
one of the
take your
smallest
bits out
ones.
of your drill when you're done with it.
Ah.
Um,
I didn't think about that. But yeah, I use this to make the little tiny holes inside of the dice jewelry that I make here at 3 Gear Studios. And it's been so handy because I can use it to make holes in clay jewelry as well. When I make little pendants and things.
These
So-
smallest bits are 0.03 sized bits. The largest one is a 0.3 bit.
So they're really small. I definitely want to try using this one though. At least for the clay ones, I can.
I don't know why you want to try this one, because when you have this is hard on your hand.
Not with dice jewelry, but with the clay. Like if I make the clay dragons and they're still not completely hard yet, and I can poke little holes into it.
So, the next thing we'll bring up
I'm
is
excited about this one.
green stuff or epoxy putty. So the deal with this stuff is that you take both sides of the clay, you mix them together, and they dry into a super hard substance in order to fill gaps, create interesting new details, and even sculpt your own miniatures when you want to. And that's all with green stuff. There's a lot of the old pewters that require this in order to, or else you'll get these thick little gaps that I keep on trying to. This is the right stuff to use. I keep on wanting to like just fill it in with like more super glue.
Yeah. So this will help you hide those mold lines if you don't want them in
And
your,
to make
on your
sure,
figure.
and to make sure you have a professional job, we have sculpting tools for you to go and craft and sculpt and make the little patterns you want to see inside of your thing. Takes a lot of practice to use, but these two together are
Help you customize that miniature and make it look the way that you want.
Let's see, now which one do you want to go to next?
I am also, like, the reason I am interested in the green stuff is not really for the miniature figures, but I can really see the use for making the clay jewelry.
She makes
that
a
I make.
lot of
So the fake
clay.
sweets, like, can you make molds with this? Like,
You can mold it the way you want out of it.
because I have some molds where I might want to change the hairstyle, and so I could probably put this on there to change the hairstyle of that character.
Yeah, once it's out of the mold, you could totally do that.
You might want to give them a nice big afro or something.
So, and of course, to help position those things, these beautiful tweezers. Good, not only to help, not only handle small pieces of miniatures,
But help me put little Swarovski crystals onto my jewelry.
Yes, it does. I also have seen people play those little chitty war games with these kinds of tweezers where it gives you two tweezers, so one in each hand, just going boom, 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 boom. Okay, my eastern front has all moved. Fantastic tweezers. I have never seen
That's
any
clever.
tweezers sculpted quite like, crafted quite like this, and I'm eager to use them when doing more. Wow. Lots of people just suddenly popped up saying, they're here! Welcome!
Welcome to the stream.
I am quickly seeing what you guys said because...
Just hi and thanks for watching. We are talking about Army Painter accessories, miniature figures, and some role-playing stuff. Today's Cyber Wednesday deal is if you come into the shop, you can save 10% on any two of these Army Painter accessories.
And when does that deal end?
It ends December 31st,
So
that's one thing I like about our deals is that they end at the end of this month. It's not like...
some of them.
Well, we didn't have just like a one.
Yeah, so far all the deals.
Yeah.
There is the spend 50 on our website to get 20% off.
Store-wide. So that was our
Store-wide.
Monday deal.
And that is lasting until through Friday. Yeah, we have that one running through Friday.
Oh,
And the discount code on that is
Cyber 20.
Cyber 20. We have this buy any
Wait, we forgot about Tuesday Cyber live stream.
Tuesday.
We did Giving Tuesday.
We have our we have our pay what you want section.
I wonder if I could turn this around. Yeah, over there is our Pay What You Want section.
And that's on Tuesday because a portion of whatever you pay for those games is going to charity. And for today, we're letting you know about this discount that ends at the end of the month. You're gonna show off some of your thing?
I can't help it. I just made this and it's so pretty. I made it with this little drill bit here.
And we're going to be showing off Deco and Dice products, which is Lena's jewelry line. That's going to be, what is it, tomorrow or Friday? Should be tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thaumaturgy Thursday, so.
Yeah, Thursday at 3, we'll be talking more about the jewelry and get some more deals, more offers.
Well, moving along with things. Of course, whenever you get a new model, I talked about taking care of flashing. So to help you with that, we have this lovely line of files to help you just do that little bit of filing, saying, there's a little line there, and just file it off. With this with this shark, don't know if you can still see it, but you see that ridge there? Well, he had an extra fin there from extra spillover from the molds, and we had to cut it down with the hobby knife and then file it down with the files. Both available on our website. Both fantastic. I never underestimate the power of a good sharp knife. And for when you're dealing with things that you have to clip off of sprues, because certainly, particularly if you do things with Warhammer, so you're in the shot. People still love to see your face. If you're cutting off things off of little plastic sprues, which all you Warhammer players know what I'm talking about, and all of those model car enthusiasts also know what I'm talking about. We have a variety of clippers that you can use to help. Not only this one's made specifically for plastics, for you to cleanly and neatly cut off of the sprues. This one is made for to do with any material, with a nice sharp tip to make sure that that cut happens right on target. So you can do those nice detailed clips with those snippers.
I kind of want a set of those because a lot of times when I mold with resin, so if you are a crafter that does resin jewelry or resin anything, you get little bits of resin that sticks off and you just want to like clip it off.
That's the flashing.
Yeah.
That's what these things are made to take care of.
So that's really good.
It is, isn't it? And of course, while we're talking about changing the physical nature of your model, I will get on to these fancy bad boys.
They're
You guys,
so little.
you know what they are?
They're the magnets.
Yes, these little magnets.
They're so
People
tiny.
will. What I've seen a lot of people do with those magnets is they will glue them onto their models. So if there is a weapon option or a detail option, they can just switch them out. You can also use them to make fake articulation. So you can have your mighty warrior on the tabletop, and then every now and then, because you put magnets in its head, you can turn their heads, and everyone else will be like, well, you turned the face.
That is interesting. I think I like the idea more of being able to change out your weapon.
Yes. Because all the time I've seen you go, I have an explodey staff. I want my zappy staff. There's my zappy staff.
Staffs are awesome.
Yeah, just wait
You
until you
can
see
never,
this.
like, you can just accessorize your character with the staff or with the weapons they have.
You really can. Which of course brings us on to paints. This is one place where Army Painter really shines through. So I'll start off with the basics. When you mix your paint and you want to keep that color paint, but you're always afraid that you're going to lose how you made that paint? Well, that's why they give you empty paint bottles that you can fill up with your own custom paints. And you're like, that's nice, but what if I want help mixing? Well, that's why they give you mixing balls. Yes, this is the true thing that rogues do with their bag of 1,000 ball bearings. They put them in their paints to get their custom paints.
So this would make a really good set.
It really does. And on top of that, when you get a paint and it's just too thick for its own good, stick in a mixing ball, shake it up, and it helps mix it up real well. When you get
And they're not even that expensive to start with.
when you get a paint that is too thin, it's often because all of that pigment has settled at the bottom of the bottle. Put a mixing ball in, shake it up, and it breaks up those clumps of pigment.
Or you could just make a baby rattle.
Or that too. But that's what these are used for, and that's what these are used for. So you can keep the custom colors you make, and so you can make sure that all of your paints can mix well. And believe me, with these balls in your paints, it turns the paints from lasting for years to decades. It is amazing how much more life you'll get out of your paints with that. You might actually use up a paint bottle. Don't look at me like that. I know that you have that paint bottle there that's dried out, that you're like, man, if I only had a mixing ball to put into it, I could use it for so much longer because it's separated because I haven't touched it in 6 months.
And we do sell individual paints here as well. Lots
Yes.
of paints. These are only available inside of the shop, but we have a ton of colors here that you can use to get
Yeah.
that perfect color.
We have the full Army Painter paint line. You can see me on most Sunday nights when I sit there and I do when I paint and talk about D&D or paint and talk about role-playing games. I use these paints. You can see how it works for me. I probably should break open one of these things of mixing balls because some of those paints are either too thick or too thin. But the deal that they do here is after you paint your models with these paints, is that they have these quick shades, which these things are magic. Yes, magic in a bottle. Trying to get Lena in the shot. Magic in the bottle.
They come in the 3 different color shades.
It is. This is the soft tone. What you do is after you finish blocking out the colors on your miniature, when you're ready to start using, when you're starting to go into using washes, you dip the miniature in here, you give it a few hard shakes, and then you put them out to dry, and it will just suck into all of the cracks and crevices of the model. I used it. They also have the quick shades in bottle form if you rather brush it on instead of dip your bottle in it, because some people like lighter touches like that, like me. But this face was done with the part of the detail, like the lines around his mouth and such, was done with the quick shade, with the strong tones quick shade. It has a little bit of a greenish quality to it. I used the bottled quick shade for the rest of his body to get some of these little lines that are in his that's in his tails and in his musculature. So it is some fantastic
Yeah,
stuff.
they have like in one of our free little pamphlets that you can come and pick up. They
You can
do
probably
show
pick
you
these
the
at
different,
any Army Painter dealer.
probably, but they show you the soft tone, strong tone, and dark tone, so you can see kind of the differences that you would get with the different.
But you can find these.
Quick shades.
You can find these cans on our website, ready to go for you.
Yep. I should take a picture of this and put it under the quick shade. Let me keep this pamphlet.
I mean, it's free. That's free.
I'm gonna put some of these on our website.
So,
Some of these photos.
and of course, you're like with all these great all these great tools. You're like, but I don't want to go and ding up my dining room table. Well, that's why we got these cutting mats to help keep your tabletops nice. These cutting mats to keep your tabletops nice. Fantastic Borco, so that it is self-healing. So after you cut it, you can cut it. You have to cut it a lot in order to actually cut this, to actually break this thing.
And I go through cutting boards, so that might be a pretty.
You might need this.
I might need that, yeah.
Generally speaking, always protect your crafting space so that the crafting space is nice for the future. But next, let's go on to bases.
Boom, 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 base.
So see this fantastic base. We have on our YouTube channel how I made that base, but they have material here for you to make it as well.
There's so many different types of.
Well, there's
material.
They have everything from chunky rocks for your heroes to run on.
Brown battlegrounds. These are little brown, little woody pieces.
Fine snow.
We've got some grass here.
I still
It's like dark grass.
I still find the static grass amazing because once you put it in there, they kind of stick up like you're running on long grass.
Is that the same one?
Yeah,
That's the field grass.
yeah, but
And
it's
then we got green grass.
collectively this is called static grass because
Oh.
it looks like it sticks up like it's being held in by static.
So that kind of looks like a summer grass. This be like fall grass.
And then for those modern Marvel models, barbed wire that you can go and twist up
Wait,
and
my favorite. It's moss. Summer undergrowth. I love moss. I make moss jewelry.
and it will help
And-
you. It will help you in a cleaner fashion to do some of these kind of details.
The moss.
Yeah,
You should show them what we did with your shark today, because that's moss, but
this is
you get that kind of coral effect when you use the moss as well.
yeah. So this is another variety of moss that there's a moss art place inside the mill, and this is some of the moss that we used on that. That undergrowth is just like that but green. And of course you're sitting there, it's like, well, every now and then I just want like a little poof of
Spring.
special grass. Like, there's a gap between the miniature and the miniature and the base. I would need something to fill that in. So they have a variety of these of this turf. This is one of my favorite, the meadow flowers, because if you look at it,
This one is, yeah.
if
they
you
have
look at it,
little
you
bitty
see
bitty
that
flowers.
green of the grass, and then right on the tip, the yellow of the flowers. And what these are these little dots that you could put on the stand. So it's like, hey, here's a little tuft of flowers.
Or a lowland shrub, so it's almost as similar, but not as much yellow flowers on top.
Or little tufts of grass with this Deadlands turf. Most of these are different types of turf. Are you criticizing how I put those down?
Or you might just want bright green lawn. Like this is just the perfect shade of green.
Isn't it?
Like a little green puff.
Yeah, and that's what they do, is they're just little green puffs for you to do. So that is a lot of the hobby tools that we have here. Also, only in the shop, so you got to come here and see our face and show off your beautiful mask for this. But they give this line of colored spray primer. This one is the pure red. So that what you can do is, you're painting a bunch of goblins. They're like 70% green. You can just spray prime them green, go in with the paints for the details, and then dip them into the quick shade for your washes, and you got an entire model done in a few minutes. Well, I
You
would
have to let them dry between times, I'm sure.
I would. This stuff dries fast. Yeah, you got to let stuff dry. But black one, always one of the most popular ones because it's easy to get those cracks showing through before you do the quick shade. But a wonderful way to rapidly paint your models with that way, which is kind of what the armor painting system was made to do.
I guess that's it.
That's the models. Now, we said this was modeling stuff and D&D, so all of you beautiful 13 eyeballs, I'm gonna try to.
You could just move the whole tripod over. Just like pick it up and move it. Just pop. Or that.
Or that.
I'm under-
We're gonna bring you to the D&D stuff.
got
So,
some great D&D stuff.
it's not just D&D. It's all our role playing, a bunch of our role playing stuff. Right now, 5th edition is so hot that it is most of our role playing business. As much as I love things like Fate System, D&D takes up so much of it.
Did that have some more Tashas in it?
Yes, there is a couple more Tashes in there if you want to try to
Fish them out?
out. And of course, when we play D&D, we all want some gorgeous tabletops, which of course those hobby tools will help you make your own, but we ain't all got time for that. So I'm going to show you Warlock tiles.
Oh, I want to do the one that has the ones that look like the coaster.
The ones that look like the coasters.
Yeah.
You know we don't have an opening. So, with these ones, this is module interlocking dungeon materials. All of the plates are two-sided, so you can switch it between stone and wood. And they go up to like 3/4 of a typical 28 millimeter miniature, so that it's easy for your hands to reach in there, pick them up, and move them. Because while I have these beautiful slender fingers, we know some of you guys got some fat fingers in there. That's makes it hard to get into small places to pick them up. And they come with opening doors. They come reversible floors and slottable walls for you to put them in, for you to put into the models. All to make your tabletops beautiful. This starter set is $99.99. And they have some beautiful accessories.
These are so heavy.
That's because there's books inside of them.
This one.
That one?
I love it because it lights up with LED lights.
Yeah, that's
It
one of the
makes
real
summoning
bells and
circles.
whistles.
It has summoning circles.
So you can sit there, and when the big bad summons the greater demon, you can have a light up effect right on your tabletop. As well as terrain features, from little chests that you can have to chairs that you can stick your friendly miniatures on, to even beds, stones, tables, chairs, little piles of treasure, some fantastic things.
You've got doors and archways, stairs and ladders.
And they make so much more. These ladders are crafted so that you can slot in a WizKids base into them, so you can actually have your miniature partway up the castle.
Climbing up the ladder?
Yes, you can have your miniature
What?
climbing up the ladder, as long as you don't get too fancy with the base. Which, if you have these materials, you're gonna want to get too fancy with the base.
Have you seen those book nooks that have been going around?
Yeah, they're fantastic.
These
Yes,
would make such amazing book nooks.
taking role-playing materials and turning them into crafts. That's part of what she does.
I think there's one more, which is this one.
Yes, and this one actually does a good job of showing you the difference between the town doors and walls and the dungeon stone that's there. We have starter sets for both, but this will have the doors and walls for both. So
Yep, so that one
she's
is
shifting things around.
because it makes more sense.
Also, to help with your materials, how many of you guys use Wall of Ice or Wall of Fire? Well, we have this Icons of the Realms Wall of Ice, Wall of Fire set, so that you can take you don't have to.
They're just watching.
Hi, Sharon.
Oh.
You don't have to describe to your players for the umpteenth time how each segment of that wall has to be 10 feet long, and they sit there for a half an hour saying, do I want to draw it like this, or do I want to draw it? How many feet do I got? All that stuff. This one gives you the right amount of feet. They're 10 feet. They fit into a 1-inch grid as a 10-foot wall segment, and they can just place them and bend them around and all that stuff, including showing your players how this wall of ice can become a dome. Did I just blow your mind?
Does that really stack?
Not in my hands.
That's really neat.
Wow, I start talking about ice and we get like 300 viewers.
Ice and fire. Yeah.
Um,
You have a song of ice and fire.
So that's what we get. So we can cover some of the.
Let's do our sale again. Since
Our
we got
sale.
so many people watching right now, like there's a lot of people watching. We're gonna go back over what the deal is in our cyber sale.
It's not a cyber sale. This is an in
Wednesday live shopping
sale.
thing.
Okay, so starting off, spend $50 on our website. Get 20% off. Get 20% off.
That's store wide. And hold on a second. We also do curbside pickup is available, and we also ship across the U.S. If you spend $100 or more, enter the code free ship, and you get free shipping. So
Fantastic.
for those holiday shoppers out there.
And these tools are on our website. And if you come into the store, you can buy any two of these tools for a 10% discount on both.
So you might want to get the mixing balls and some paints.
Mixing balls and paints
Which
together.
would make a nice set.
So,
I also think that the knife and then the self-healing cutting mat would be a good set.
and with this deal, you could even get your turf and your turf as a set. Believe it or not.
So we spent a lot of time yesterday working on the website to get these products on there for you guys to be able to buy from the comfort of your own home.
Now to
But-
get back.
Okay.
I want to get to the role-playing games. I want to get to the games
Role-play-
themselves.
Oh, but the book.
Yeah, I know the books. That's why I'm trying to talk about the books.
Okay.
So starting off, because everyone's like, yay, D&D, that they forget about some of these non-D&D games. Starting off with the non-role-playing non-D&D games, we started to get into Frostgrave. This is a miniature game that you can play with your old D&D models. So, that whole legion of really cool PCs that you've made for games that have closed, you can use them in Frostgrave in order to have your warband go and beat up on your buddies' old PCs and their warband.
I have a question.
Yes.
I really want you to run a Frostgraves campaign.
It's not a role-playing game. It would be a series of battles.
Series of battles.
Yes. Also known as something that's really hard to do online, where we have to do all our playing these days.
Yeah,
But when we
it's
get
not fun.
open, oh yeah, I'm gonna want to play a Frostgrave campaign. As you can actually have your warband progress over time, so it has that whole role-playing game progression. Another one that Lena really wants me to run is the Princess Bride role-playing game that uses the fudge system. We still need to get the fudge dice in.
You gotta remember. Fudge.
Keep on forgetting to get the fudge. So fudge dice are the ones with the little plus and minus signs on it, but they're basically D6s. But this one lets you play in the world of the Princess Bride, as everyone will start chanting as you wish. Going on to D&D in space. We have Starfinder, a fantastic game from Paizo where you get to go and play your ragtag crew of misfits in order to run across space, completing adventures, gathering up all the credits, and you can even play as a Skittermander and have a Skittermander dice bag. That's what these things are, essentially trademarked stitches. So you can play everyone can play one of the many forms of Stitch.
These are available on our website.
And alongside with Starfinder, we have Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Truly, Pathfinder continues to be the alternative for D&D. So if you're sitting there playing 5th Edition D&D, it's like, gee, I would like a whole lot more options with my character, and I want to be able to customize my character a whole lot more. Pathfinder's the way to go. Every level you get to choose 1 to 3 feats to go and customize your race, your class, and whatever crafting you're able to do. And that's all that's all in this one. A lot of people love it. Why are you looking concerned at that small box?
Because I don't remember ordering this.
What does it say it is?
Metallic Dice Games.
Huh.
We'll look at it later.
We'll have to look at that later.
This is super
Metallic
heavy.
Dice is a fantastic one. Lena wants me to open up some boxes, which means she wants us to get to...
Unboxing. Oh, that was someone's special order.
Cyberpunk Red. Yes,
Pre-order.
one of these is a pre-order that someone filled. Come on down and pick it up. The other one is for our shelves. This is what threatens to replace Shadowrun as you get to go in your dystopian escape from our dystopian present in a dystopian future where the corporations have taken over and you are trying to survive in a world fueled by greed and neglect.
So if you ever watch Johnny Mnemonic,
That's Cyberpunk quite to the...
that movie is awesome.
That is the literal definition of cyberpunk. Just like Blade Runner is one of the seminal things of it. We are Starfinder character operations. So again, trying to support that D&D in space. And all too
wait. Look at the artwork.
so pretty. All too popular right now because some people want to continue playing D&D, and have the options. The new Tasha's book we finally got a restock of. Only a couple of them too. They're still in very thin supply. Feel jelly for all those retailers that were able to get 20. I'm just curious what's in this last box. And of course, because we need the basics, let's talk about Metal Dice Company.
Oh.
Dice trays to fight your running away dice. We keep these pleather dice trays in. That's usually felt on one side, pleather on the other, because with the snaps you can fold them flat for easy transport. Can you grab one of those dice towers?
Sure. And we have green. I don't think they can hear me. But they come in a variety of colors. We've got them in green, blue, and red, and also rainbow.
Rainbow. And they have these dice towers that are made to fit in the folding dice trays so that you can bring a whole setup with you no matter where you go. I know that's not as much of a problem right now, but you know you're going to be playing it in the future when we're through with all this stuff.
And they make such a pretty set.
So now, also on the exciting thing, in case you want something more customizable than these Warlock tiles, good old-fashioned Weddy Race playmat. I don't know if these are on our website.
I think they are.
So
I'll
these
take a look, but I think both of them are on our website.
these are the most
3gearstudios.com, by the way.
3gearstudios.com. These are this is what I tend to use when I'm playing in person to do the playmats. To draw out the dungeons. I'll just draw on these things, wipe them off when it's done, not wipe them off when I forget about it, but then I can, next week I can just take a little spray bottle and clean them off nice and clean. A little bit of cleaning fluid goes a long way. But those are the Weddy Race mats. We also have markers for those in here. Taking a breath. I feel like I've been running markers.
I make a good set.
That's not in the deal though.
I know, it's just a nice set.
It is a nice set.
It's, people are thinking about holiday shopping and they might want little bundles that go together.
That mat might be too big to fit in your stocking, but those markers aren't.
That would be a good stocking stuffer.
Now, we talked in the past how this is a great place to start with your adventures in D&D, and they cut down from some of your options. Because, when you're first learning, it's hard to do all of the options. But if you want can't even say most anymore. If you want a wider selection of options for your beginning character in order to make just about anyone you want, Player's Handbook has the complete guide to what we know you love, Tasha's.
You want Tasha's.
This is a guide for all of the rules that a player needs in order to play. Between the Player's Handbook, the Monster Manual, and the Dungeon Master's Guide. This is what I tend to refer to as the core rule set. And so this gives you everything you need to run any D&D adventure you wish, including a ton. I tend to use the gunpowder rules out of the Dungeon Master's Guide. They even have laser guns in this thing. Lasers, necrotic energy. I bet you didn't know that.
Wait, I want to show them that cover of this.
So.
Wait.
That's next.
What's next?
So, a lot of people ask me after they get the core rule books, what are the next books they should look at? The number one answer is always the same: Xanathar's Guide to Everything. This one gives you a lot of player options with new subclasses that you can play, as well as a fantastic set of charts to help you to guide you through making your own background for where your character came from before they started adventuring. Volo's Guide to Monsters is also a fantastic supplement.
I really like
that
this
will,
cover.
yeah, that is the same beholder
really
as in that dice bag.
Like you don't even notice that there's a beholder there, and then you're like, oh, there's a beholder there.
This is a fantastic guide that gives you a ton of sub-races, a ton of racial options for your character. So if you want to be a cat person, it's in here. The Explorer's Guide to Wildemount also has a lot of fantastic options that you get to do. Some of them actually overlap. And then I'll say Xanathar's, Volo's, and now Tasha's Cauldron of Everything that has a ton of extra subclasses that you can play. So you too can play your fiery druid. Or all the psionicists that you could possibly dream of is all in this book. Wizards did a bang-up job with this one. This is definitely in the front line of things that people people should get after when they want to expand beyond the core books.
And these will be on our website later today.
Including the ability to build your own custom race in a very balanced fashion that no GM should complain about. Except for those ones who love humans, because it makes the variant human irrelevant.
I think we're good.
And
Unless you wanted to talk about spell cards.
I do want to talk about spell cards.
That's a really big big RPG rundown.
It really is. Also, for those who want to write their own adventures, Wildemount, Eberron, Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica, and since we still have the fancy covers, Theros all give you fantastic settings to be able to play in.
This is a really pretty cover.
It really
Like the
is.
artwork
And
is-
if you want an example of what a God-heavy world looks like, Theros is the one for it, as it gives you everything to give for a traditional Greek setting where the gods have a heavy hand in the day-to-day life of the world. Something you really don't see in that many fantasy places, despite the fact that you'd expect to see something like that in a lot of fantasy. And then we have pre-written modules, which are just canned adventures, like Icewind Dale, Rise of the Rim of the Frost Maiden, which gives you fantastic long-form adventures for you to build your own campaign. They even recommend segueing some of your own side quests if you want to experiment with doing half write your own and half not. I do recommend at lower levels segueing into some of the Essential Kits adventures, because they're just that good. And of course, when you're up there at the table, you might be like, as a GM, you might sit there and it's like, oh, I'm tired of flipping through my book in order to go look up all my monsters. That's where these monster cards come in. They're fantastic for a quick reference guide for all of your beasties. And as a player, you might sit there saying, oh my god, I can't remember all my spells. You can just pull out the ones you use with these spell cards, usually categorized by class, with a supplemental for the spells that come in Xanathars. Fantastic pieces of work. So, that is a lot of these things are in there. Curse of Strahd has been a fantastic one. We got this new collector set. That is a fantastic rundown of a lot of our role-playing stuff that you can sit there and think about for your for those role players on your gift-giving guides.
And I think almost all of these are on our website, or they
Yes.
should be.
I feel like
I
we're
hope they are.
I feel like we're missing something crucial when it comes to role playing.
What do you mean?
We talked about the tools. We talked about the books. We talked about the accessories. But there's
Talk
the
about
biggest,
miniature figures?
the dice.
Oh. I feel like you need to pick up that and bring it over here.
Walk with us as we see if the power cord walks with us too.
It's walking with us. We're changing stations.
Changing
A
stations.
little bit. Because we did just get in these really awesome glow-in-the-dark Cirrus dice.
That is the viewer.
This one is called Frosted Glowworm. It comes with the extra D20.
I'm gonna do a little
It's got a little
finagling.
bluer, but I don't know if they can see it.
Nope, you can't see it. No, it does. It actually doesn't show.
I'm gonna flash my flashlight on there. Maybe it'll make it brighter.
We do primarily series dice, although we're looking at some other ones.
Wait. So it did brighten it up. So you can kind of see that.
Are you trying to buy?
They glow in the dark. It's
They
so
do.
Cool. I'm gonna still try it with the box. Wait. It's gotta be like at the right angle, or not at all.
Oh,
Did you see it?
see something.
It's hard to get that angle so you can see that they glow in the dark.
Okay,
But they glow in the dark.
but Series Dice does these wonderful layered effects with a lot of their dice, which we just love, as well as coming up with some of these beautiful color combinations. Oh my God, did we sell all our Tahitian Sunrise?
You've got one.
Tahitian Sunrise, because you want it in your vacations. Now you can roll it too.
You also have the watermelon ones that I like.
Doesn't that just taste like watermelon when you look at it?
Watermelon. And then you've got this one that is so beautiful. Northern Lights, pink. It's got pink and green and blue and sparkles. Who doesn't like sparkles?
And of course, there is the thing that we can do, that we have that we can do for you.
On my tree?
Your tree.
I'm still working on adding more, but for only $15, you can get your own dice necklace.
So here's the secret: you bring your favorite Traitorous D20 in, and Lena will make it into a necklace for you.
Why would you want to wear a Traitorous D20 though?
Because it's pretty,
Okay.
and you're never rolling it again because it betrayed you.
That makes sense.
It's kind of like putting heads on spikes. It's so that all the other dice remember that you're no longer. If you betray you, you'll never use them again.
Now I never look at this tree the same way again.
I ruins things for her. So that is a quick rundown of what we have, of some of the stuff that we have in here that you can find on our website.
3yearstudios.com. I think that's about it for the day. We talked quite a long time.
Spend $50 and you get 20% off up through Friday.
That's our Cyber Monday sale that we had going
Cyber
on.
Week sale.
And it's going on.
And what's the discount code?
Cyber 20.
We'll add it into somewhere in here so people can see it.
And it is on our website, 3yearstudios.com, so you don't really have to.
Is it on the website? I
Yeah,
thought we had it
everything
on.
is on the website. I
Great.
put everything on the website.
Everything. There's no secrets here. And if you come into the shop and buy two things from the accessory rack, you get 10% off of both. So,
Hopefully we will see you guys doing your holiday shopping.
do we know what we're going to be watching next week?
You mean tomorrow?
Tomorrow? Do you know what we're watching tomorrow? Which feels like a week away.
I know, it feels like forever. I think we're going to just... Can you walk with me, Stuart?
I am walking with you.
We're walking around the shop. I think we're going to feature some of the fake sweets jewelry down here, maybe.
Getting into
I'm going to try to see if I can get these on the website, but I'm not sure.
So it's going to be the Deco and
That'll be
Dice
tomorrow.
Day, as we handle not only a lot of the stuff from Deco and Dice, but all of our different crafters and artisans that come into the shop and put some of their stuff up for sale.
Yep. So hopefully you guys are shopping small,
You
shopping
realize you
local.
just showed them outside, right?
They can see outside. It's pretty.
It is pretty.
Look, we got Christmas decorations in the mail.
So, that's all for today.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
See you tomorrow at 3.
Bye.